Greetings and salutations, viewers of YouTube. My name is Big Al, and I am your storytelling pal. For mental health reasons, I got out and got some sunlight today, so I'm in a little bit different location. But I would like to remind all of you, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good jazz. Before I get into the disclaimers, I'm in kind of a pretty park right now. It's called Park Point. It's on a peninsula that sticks out into Lake Superior in Duluth. And so I want to give you all a little bit of the sunset tonight here as part of the video, but let me turn it around so you can see it. That is looking out to the west. Superior, Wisconsin is what you're seeing on the other side of the water, both the frozen and the liquid water. And I'm just sitting here in my car telling y'all a story just for laughs. As I always say, my YouTube channel and my storytelling videos, it's kind of a low frills operation. So anyway, the disclaimers. So the stories that I'm telling are kind of sort of true. I mean, for the most part, it's as best I can remember them. And if I have to fudge a fact or two to make the story funnier, I probably am going to do so. If I need to kind of not use anyone's name that, or use a different name just for their, privacy, I will do that also. And I try not to use last names. If anyone recognizes themselves or someone they know from a story, thank you for the memory. And then the other disclaimer, as I always say, I hope that I can bring laughter to everyone who watches these videos. Not everyone is really looking to watch YouTube videos for positive reasons, though. So if you want to tell me that I suck at storytelling, or I'm ugly, or I'm fat, or whatever, fill in the blank, I don't really care. Go watch someone else. So with that said, let's get into the story. So one of the dumbest things that I've ever done driving, and yes, I know right now I'm sitting in my car. No, my car is not in motion. I'm just sitting in the parking lot. I'd come out of class, and I, of course, had my backpack with me. So I dropped my backpack in the back driver's side floorboard, and then get in, the driver's door, close the door, and I start the car, and it says the door is ajar. And so I'm like, well, crap. So I open and close my door, the driver's door, and that doesn't make the light go off. And so I'm like, oh, it must have been when I closed the door where I put my backpack, that must be the problem. So I stand up out of the car to open and close the back driver's side door. And as soon as I get almost to my feet, I get knocked off balance. And what knocked me off balance was the driver's door, because I had already put it into reverse before I stepped out, and I didn't think about that. So once I stood up out of the car kind of took off on its own without me. And so it starts going in reverse across the parking lot. And because I didn't really know what else to do, I ran after it, even though there was no way I was catching up to my car. And so it rolled across the parking lot and slammed into the back bumper of this car that was directly across the parking lot from me. And so it did a fair amount of damage to the back bumper and the trunk of that car. And, it still was continuing to push up against that car because it was still in reverse and still moving. But it hitting that car stopped it enough that I could catch up to it. And all it did was I stepped in the car enough to turn the key off, and then shifted out of reverse, and that was it. The thing was, I was in such a panic. I didn't really shift it into park. I shifted it into neutral. And so, I was kind of winded from the run across the parking lot. And I kind of stand up and I'm kind of relaxing a little bit from that sudden burst of activity. And as I'm doing that, my car starts to roll because there's a little bit of a slight grade to the parking lot. And so now my car is rolling back the other way, and I'm running after it back the other way. And so I don't catch it, of course. And it goes back into the original parking place I had. But because of the impact with the first car that it hit on the other side of the parking lot, it was now at a slightly different angle. And so it slams into the driver's side doors of the car that I was originally parked next to and just completely caves them in. So now my car has hit two cars without me being in my car when it did so. And it's just an absolute mess. So I have to call the cops. I have to explain to the campus cop, what had just happened. And he looked at me like I had lost my damn mind. And it was a bad moment. And of course, there was one guy walking by who witnessed this. And I'll never forget this, but when he's trying to describe what he saw to the cops, he got about halfway through the description and he kind of paused and he goes, I saw it, but I still can't believe what I saw. Well, I hope y'all got a good laugh out of that. I hope you're having a good one. I'm out.